Hello and welcome back to the channel. I am Mr.Clean and today we're here to talk about some exciting new VR news from new games, new hardware and full body tracking without trackers. So this is probably the most hyped I've ever seen anything for a game release in VR. Like honestly, this has exceeded even Half-Life Alyx at this point, which is a tall order in my opinion to try and beat. Madness, but in a good way. So it's exciting to see this finally kicking off, and just like I say, the buzz around this game, it just gets me so hyped because the VR stuff has been a little bit on the quieter side. This year has been a bit of a drier year for VR, but everything is just ramping up into excitement now as we have new hardware, we have new stuff, and now we have the games. Something like Bonelab coming, and this is exciting. Now I want to say Bonelabs just because it would trigger all of you to write something in the comments, but I won't. I'll be a good boy. I did say it accidentally in my last video, and people called me out on it. Anyway, Bonelab is coming, and it's exciting time. Brendan has released some Quest 2 footage of this now as well, so I'll have that playing in the background for you guys to be able to see, and it's exciting because it looks freaking phenomenal on Quest. Now, I will be covering this game, don't worry. Tomorrow, I will have a video for you guys, the second I'm allowed to, so it's exciting times. Very exciting times. But as we know, we have now had the freaking full trailer for this. We've also had the Node video, and now we've had the Quest 2 footage natively shown to us as well, which is recorded directly from the Quest 2. So this is just madness. Being able to see all of this, and the reports of things are just crazy. And the reports we're getting from Brendan is basically saying that we're going to get a full 90 Hz out of this, giving you the most beautiful, crispy frame rate you can possibly imagine, while still doing all of the crazy physics that this game has. It's exciting. Whether you're hyped or not, it's undeniable to say that this is a very, very cool thing that is coming to a native VR headset. You know, it's one thing to have this come out on PC VR with the power of the GPUs and everything else that we have on our PCs, but to say that this is just coming to a Quest standalone is just, this is the future. It's here. This is going to change VR. Whether you like it or not, this is going to change VR forever, because the way that we perceive all games coming forward from this now, we're going to be like, well, Bonelab did it, why can't you? Anyway, we have other new releases coming out this week as well, which is Crysis Brigade Reloaded 2. That's a mouthful. It used to be called Crysis VRcade, I think, but then they changed the name because people just couldn't say it, so probably like me, I just said it wrong. So they've now changed it to Crysis Brigade, and it's coming to the Quest store, the main store now, instead of just the App Lab version of it. So this is really exciting for them. I'm really glad that they've managed to get this on there, because honestly, it's a really solid game. If you're looking for something that's very Time Crisis-esque and you can get in there with a friend, this is going to be the answer to all of your prayers. So definitely a cool game. Go check this out. There's also 2 new levels, I believe, that have been put into this as well to sort of give you even more content if you didn't own it already. If you already own it on App Lab, then you will already own it the second it releases on the main store as well. So you don't have to rebuy it or anything like that. It's just going to be there for you. So those are our 2 releases that we're going to be talking about today. There are other things coming out, but honestly, these are the 2 things that I think are the most exciting things to be talking about. Now we get into the really exciting stuff. Hardware. Now, PlayStation VR 2 released their full trailer for the PSVR 2, or PlayStation VR 2, or PlayStation Virtual Reality 2. I don't care what you want to call it. Either way, they've released their freaking trailer for it, and oh my god, does PlayStation know how to hype me? Like, honestly, they made the perfect trailer in my opinion. Showing off what it can do, showing off some really cool uses for the eye tracking, which we'll come back to in just a second, and in just general, just showing us how cool it is going to be to own this thing, because the games that are coming to it, oh my god, are looking so freaking sassy. Now, we've already had confirmation for things like the Horizon game is going to actually be a full game. You're looking at 8 or 9 hours, probably give it a lot more than that if you actually explore the game as well. It's just so freaking exciting to be able to see all of this stuff finally coming together into something that we're going to be able to freaking own next year. 2023, early 2023, they're saying. So I'm going to say probably March is going to be around the time that we're going to be able to purchase this. Probably be able to get a pre-sale a little sooner than that, I really hope, because I would love to see an actual official price for this thing. At this point, it's really the last key in the puzzle, just to let everyone know what they're thinking of spending for this thing, you know, because we've already obviously bought like a PS5 at this point, or you're trying to buy a PS5 for around 500 British pounds. So yeah, I just want to know now, is it going to be another 500? These are the questions I have to ask. Now, bouncing back to what I was saying earlier, they showed us some very interesting use of the eye tracking, where in the new Firewall Ultra game, you'll be able to weapon select with your eyes. Now, listen, I get it. That sounds kind of gimmicky. Kind of is gimmicky. But it's damn freaking cool to see this tech being used for these other things, other than just social experiences and stuff like that. This is going to be insane. Now, eye tracking for me is going to be something that really changes the industry entirely, because think about being able to interact with an NPC and actually draw eye contact with them. The NPC's aware of where you are so that it can look at you, we can look each other in the eyes, but also have that awkwardness of how humans are where we don't really want to look each other in the eye. So it's kind of like all of these things that are going to change the social experience of being in virtual reality, whether it would be with another person or whether it be with the AIs in games. It's going to entirely change the way we interact in VR altogether, and it's super exciting. Plus, it's going to be one of those things that's trickle-fed, right? Once the PSVR has it, we already know that the Quest Pro is going to have it. We know that the Pico 4 Pro has it. So I feel like it's one of those techs that's just going to trickle down into becoming the complete new normal. And then developers can start implementing this stuff into their games easier and not necessarily easier, but more commonly used in VR games. So all of this stuff, very, very exciting. I can't freaking wait to try it out for myself. Next up, we had the announcement for the release of the Pico 4 last week. Now, I covered this in its entirety of its own video, so if you want to know about all the specs of it and everything, I will leave a link down below so that you can go check that video out. It gives you a full breakdown of everything you need to know about it. But today we're just going to roughly cover it, as this is the news segment, and I want to just give you a little bit of a bite-sized segment to understand why it's exciting. So, with the Pico 4, why is this exciting? Well, the form factor of this thing is insanely small, and I've spoken to a few people that have actually used them, and they're saying that they are crazy light. Like, it feels like it's a toy, like a display version of the thing, because it's so damn light. This is exciting. Why? Because it means no more sort of like facial fatigue from wearing a VR headset when you're using something like this. They're using their new pancake lenses in this as well, which means basically they can reduce the form factor from being a chunky boy to being slim, and it just means it's going to be close to your face, give you a better FOV, and also just in general give you a better experience out of this thing. Now, to go into our last subject of the day, the Quest 2 was being shown off with new full body tracking. Now, why is this exciting? Well, it is, because you don't have to use trackers to do this. Now, you won't be able to stand on one leg or do some freaking crazy kicks or anything like that, as it's only predicting where your feet would be. So my understanding of this is that they're using an AI to understand roughly where your feet would be in place with your upper body. So it kind of just tracks those things and gives a more genuine look to your avatar, which is going to be cool, because let's be real, everyone knows that freaking Horizons with no legs, it's not a great experience. Why do you want to see everyone just floating around? It's just weird. So being able to get legs that look genuine and sort of move with your body in a way that you would expect, and I'm kicking my legs down there. You guys can't see them. I may as well be a Facebook Horizon. Do I even own legs? Who knows? Maybe I'm no leg gang, taking back to a weird PewDiePie reference. Anyway, I don't know where this video's gone. Anyway, it's exciting because really it's just going to give us a more fluid and genuine experience in VR games. Very exciting. Like I say, it's not really going to give you any new abilities, but it's definitely going to make everything feel a lot more natural around you. And I'm all in for it. So all of this stuff that they're working on, very, very exciting, and I can't wait to test all this stuff out for myself. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down below in the comments. What are you hyped for? What don't you care about? All of these things that start a conversation going, would you be interested in a Pico 4? Are you going to be buying a PlayStation VR 2? Let me know in the comments down below. I will catch you in the next one, guys. Peace out, much love, smash like, subscribe.